Hey, is it the night? Are you in bed with your wife, with your boyfriend? Are you up on the street looking at your phone? See, I started off this video with something to say, and I completely lost what it is. So I'm going to make it up. Anybody want a piece? This is just one piece of cat shit. I got to get rid of them. I feel a little bad that I have to get rid of my cats to get rid of. You know, if I heard Joe Pesci say I'm going to get rid of them, you know what you think of, right? Well, when I say I'm going to get rid of them, I think of what Joe Pesci thinks. So it doesn't feel too good, you know. George Carlin keeps reminding me of that, although he's passed on to a higher level. We idiots down here still have to live at the lower level. So the question is like this. Is there any question at all? Hi, I'm MrTacpans. How are you feeling today? I'm usually feeling fine, and today is no other than any other day. The only complication within this day and within the last few weeks, in fact, it's been with me for the last 7 years. I hope to God I don't forget anything I've ever done. You know, I've done less videos now, and I'm finding more information. Like I've said in one of the last and fewer and all of the past videos, at least for the last 5 or 6, the strength and energy of God is so powerful, it's insane. When I start to find something, it just keeps finding and finding. This is not about God only and Christ. This is about how everything came to creation. Why people get mad at things is inside this tangled, twisted maze of Alpha Omega. If everybody understands what Alpha Omega means, he's got to be the beginning and the end, making him to be the God to start and waiting for you at the end. That means the beta God. Okay? He's in the beta, he's the God in the beta God house. Earth, wind, sand, and fire. The 4 major elements, plus God in the center controlling what he wants to do with them. The elements do what they do because those are the elements. They're their God in their own. They don't listen to anybody. They just do what they do. God gathers them up so they can do for what they do for themselves, for him too. He puts them in a certain order, sticks it into the Twin Towers, and down comes the building. Sorry, that was God George Bush, I guess, in the USA. Might be wrong. Now, I did have something important to say somewhere along the lines. I'm starting out, and what I'm going to show you is I wasn't going to come on to do the pentagram. C and C, command and create. So where does this come in? Well, this is what we do. Everything has to be fair. 4, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we go. So we draw a straight line. 1, 6, 3, 4, 2, 5. This, okay, what you see right now is actually this. This is the beginning of the pentagram. If you take a look, this point over here and this point over here go up here. They don't go down here. I only bring it down here from the inside point. I only follow the points. So this would end up to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But there is no 7, 8, 9. I got to make another one like this upside down to it. And if you take a good look at it, that's the leaf. That's the leaf that connects one side, 1 and 4, the one God of the 4 angles of God, 2, 4, 6, and 8, making him the 4 God, and the 3 and the 6. That's all what we're working with. So the question is, since we're working with these numbers, do we also live on one of those numbers? Are we on Earth? I keep asking the same question. Now, if you didn't get to what I was getting at, is that once you separate them, it looks like this. It's not the pentagram. It's the Pontiac sign, that Indian sign with the star in it. This is what it is. It runs along the heel, a 45 degree. Okay? Well, it's 45 degrees, okay, on the angle. Is that what it is? That was 45 degree a half angle. It's pretty funny, eh? 2 times 45 is 90. The 9 birth of Omega, 90. O, okay, which also represents a totality of what the O is all about. What is the O all about? Let me check. Let me check. Feels a little wet. What do the French people say? C'est trempe. Trempe. It means it's wet. And if you say trente in French, it means 30. It means creation. Is it trempe? Is it wet? O, omega, it also means water. Alpha, so that's an ingredient. Alpha, Fa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. It all knits together. When we watch MrTacpans, we say, what is he talking about? Because we don't understand. And then we ask ourselves, does MrTacpans really know anything that we should be able to understand? The answer is, yes, he knows something. But these little things that I tell you, for some reason, a lot of people seem to misunderstand it. Imagine you have a puzzle of 5,000 pieces. You put in 600 pieces. You got a hell of a puzzle to go. Although when you got the box, it showed on the front the picture, you still need to find that next piece. Well, wait a second. I got the picture. It's my face. I'm here. I must be in creation. It came from my mother. I don't know what her organs did to make me grow up, but I'm here. It's the same as the story I'm doing. You got all the pieces. You know you're here. Now you got to figure out how you got here. One line at a time. One line at a time inside, okay, its own 9 lives of the cat, okay? If you cross each box in the 9 lives of the cat, okay, you end up with an X in every single box, which is 9 X's. Now what happens, okay, is you connect the 3 creation of man. The 9 boxes, right? Now connect 9 to the next row. Connects 9, this part over here, this V, to the next row, 10. Now you have 10, now you have birth. Once you're on this row, you have 10, 11, and 12. You are the one spirit of Sam. The same reflection is over here on line 22, 23, and 24. On 22, 23, 24, you are the delta angle that comes into the omega box in the center. Omega box is 2, 8, 4, and 6. And then here is on the outside. If you take a close look, this is the Magen David. Okay, you see over here, the X on the Magen David, the X. But because of the other lines above it and the connecting lines, you're not seeing it. Now, you see what these X's are? There's an X here, there's an X here, there's an X in here. It's this X. It's the 1, 3, 4, 6. This is your 777 world. You take this, you put it into the roulette, and you look at the colors. Does it work here? 10 and 15. 1 is red, 6 is black. 1, 6. Now let's check something over here. Where else can we put it? Here's number 19. Where this X is. 16, 17, 18, 19 is here. 1 and 9 is 10. The same thing as this. This one over here is 20. This one was 11. 1 and 1 is 2. This one is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. Over here is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Over here, you see 18, 19, 20, 21. This is the reverse of this. It would be the same thing down here, reversing to here. This is where we are. This is our life. 10, 20, 30. How do you want to count it? The X in the center is alpha, and the O around them is omega. And one of the reasons for that is this is delta, this 4 angle of delta, and this one here that I didn't close. I don't know why I didn't close that one. That's okay. So what you have is you're enclosed by delta 4 and delta 4. This delta 4 over here, okay, you see this one? How can I find it? Right here. This dot, okay, is the square inside here. Do you see what it does, the rest of the square in here? There's a part here, and there's a part here. This makes another design. This, if you look up here and look up here, this design I did 2 pages ago. And I'm not quite sure where it is. I'm going to look for it for a second. If you let me take a look for a second, and if I get to look for a second, then I'll be looking, obviously. I'd be looking for a second. But by the time I finish telling you that I'm only looking for a second, let me see if I can find that design. Let me look at it again. Anyways, I'll draw it for you. I'll draw it for you. Let me see this and this. Just give me a second here, you don't mind? Where am I? Where am I? 2013, 22, 23, and this is what it ends up looking like. The part that supports this over here, down here, see over here, this little mountain, then this check, and this square here, this little omega, number 8, is put right over here, okay? But the real truth to the design is it's the number 13, number 1 and 3, how it all started. Everything seems to come back to exactly from where it began every single time. It's almost just like not even going out there and punching it into a computer and coming out a wired field somewhere else. The same way they come in and correct things on your computer from somewhere else. It's the same thing. I don't even have to move from my desk, just like in the Matrix, and we can take down every building in the city, fix every pothole in the city, and never have to leave except for having maybe 100 people fixing the entire network of this earth. Why? Because it's all electronics. There are no bumps. Nothing has really happened like this. It's happening because God is letting this earth and his people run the same way as the universe runs. Oh, it breaks. Oh, it fixes itself. Oh, it tears apart. Oh, it's falling. Oh, it's rising. Oh my God. That's the way it really works. So another thing what I wanted to show you, there's just so many designs that you can make. Here is that, is it the pentagram? And I put a club on top of it, just one club. It fits in perfect. The 4 sits on one side. The 2, you see it's up right in the middle, like the Pac-Man figure? It can't move because it's stuck into it. And then the 6 on this side. And this is the other 2 of the club. There's 2 parts of the 2 of the club, here and here. Most people say this should be 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. This is the mind of the club, the 2 with the 4, the 2 with the 6, and the 2 with the 5. But it's also known as the 2 with the 2 because it's a representation of the letter V, which means life. Okay? Here, I showed you this already. There's so many things. Even to do with the percentage sign. Milk, 1%, 2%, 3.25%, and they show you the percentage sign. Now this sign can have many representations, okay? It shows you the balance or the clock, the hourglass of the one spirit that connects to the 9 birth. The milk fat, the 13th letter, and the 7th letter. Total 20, the one spirit of creation of the 7th gate, creating the opening for the 20 world of the one birth, of the one spirit connecting to the 9 birth, which brings in the 0.25 who man is of the 3 creation. This here in milk is almost, okay, even in the 2%, if we bring it down, it's almost like saying, what's the number of pi? The number of pi is 3.1415, okay? 1/4 and 1/5 is the same thing. 1/4, 1/4 is a quarter. 1/5, 1/5. Now the thing with the 5 is, how can I explain it? 1/5 is 20. The other one is a quarter. In pi, I'm talking about in pi. Whoop, I just dropped my pen. I'm just going to pick it up in a second. 1/4 and 1/5 is 20 plus 25 equals to 45 times 3 is 135, which is 4 o'clock. 4:30, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 4:30, 135 degrees, 4:30. Okay. First of all, I just learned this right now, and I don't think I'm going to forget it, so I'm going to relax my mind before I tell you. Here's another one of my discoveries, a hypothesis. This is one I highly think is correct, and it's one of the reasons why pi has its first 5 numbers the way it does. Wouldn't it be freaky? Hey, Ma, we watched this guy on TV. He talked about pi and purple. Well, I was thinking about blueberry pie. Then he turns around, he says, no, the purple is the birth. I didn't know. And then he talks about the Turks. And he says, what about the Turks? He says, well, they're turkeys. So they got 3 X's. But he was actually talking about turquoise, the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean is the 41st, or 1-4, the one spirit of the 4 angle. The beta world is slam dunk right in Israel according to numbers. My numbers that I have, I am so confident about it. Now, if you came up to me with 6 numbers, well, I'm going to tell you the 6-number story. I mean, obviously, if the man's dead, he's dead. How did he get dead? My numbers is the same thing as you taking out some stories and, hey, look, the guy's dead, but we don't know how he's dead. The guy fell down, but how did he fall down? My stories are the same thing. They're only numbers. And then the number says, God was here. There's only 10 digits. Now you got to put together the 10 digits of the 10 digits. And I used to go to horse track when I was younger, and I saw the combinations, and it costs a lot of money to put these together. There's a lot of combinations. Okay? But you know what's funny? In God's world, up to a certain point, okay, all the numbers can be turned around at the racetrack, but not anymore. Since they put in the high five and the superfecta, you can't turn around all the combinations. Because when you have a dollar, it's 1.00. Oh, you can reverse it around to the other side, but it'll never be equal. Okay? I mean, everything gets calculated. If you give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to sit here for an hour and show you everything it's going to do. But I'm going to make a mistake. And what's going to happen in this mistake? Whoop, I made an extra dot. Where'd you make the extra dot? I'll show you where I made the extra dot. Where'd you make the extra dot? Let me take out a piece of paper. This is the problem with God. You know what I'm saying? Big problem with God, you got to know. Okay, does it still right? Problem with God is he loves his daughters. With God, he says, I'm here. God is the center of everything. And then he goes over here. Now, God was here, drew a line to over here, but he's only over here. He moves between every line he makes. You know that thing you see for the boats, where you are and wherever people are around you? That's God, okay? Wherever you are, he'll move around you so that he'll be like the center of the universe for you. Okay, so I'm going to just light this up. You guys want to go for a drink or something? Just go ahead, go to your fridge. I don't mind. You want a drink from my fridge? Yeah, you must be really retarded if you think you can get a drink from my fridge over this internet. Wait a second. I'm getting a feeling. Okay, I'm not thirsty anymore. How about you? I made a prayer that you weren't thirsty so you wouldn't have to come over and drink. What would I do? Oh my God, I would love one day to work on this a whole day with somebody. I've been doing this for 7 years. Alone! Well, maybe my liberty is pretty cool in that sense. Alone. Alone. Alone? Oh no. A loan is sometimes dangerous. You can get hurt. And if you get a loan at the bank, you have to pay it back. So you always have to pay attention when you're alone. Everybody wants to screw you. You know what I'm saying? They want to stick it to you. They figure if they can't stick it to you because it won't stick, they'll screw it in. That way they'll get to you. Now here's what we're going to do next. We're going to light up this because this is part of the game. I'm a marijuana smoker, but this is not the marijuana. This is hash. This is probably the worst hash I've smoked in the last couple of months. In fact, when your pusher ain't no good, you know what you do? You move to the side. When he goes to push, he falls down. You find somebody else behind him a little bit better. Anyways, what we're going to do is, don't tell me I forgot. Starship balances, the oranges. I said I was never going to forget, and I forgot. That's pretty crazy. Were we talking about oranges, lemons? Oh, you know what? Give me a second over here. I got to go to my fridge. I forgot what the original thing I was going to talk about. Hey, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I tell you one thing, what I believe. All these numbers are real. This is all real. Isn't it freaky? If you can really take it into you, that this is all real. Everything is real. Look. Look, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that cushion. But when a lemon rolls, if everybody thinks a lemon is not that good, well, let me tell you something about a lemon. If you cut a lemon in half this way, okay, this lemon, okay, will sit on its side this way, just about the right angle for 45 degrees. And when it rolls, okay, it's always going to do this. It's not going to roll this way. So the lemon and the lime is one of the best rolls if you want to go straight. Okay, but the orange is the roll if you just want to be smooth and just go wherever you go without any limitations. It seems like the orange has less limitations than anything else. And not only that, orange in French is golden angel. The orange in pool is the 5 passage. 5 and 13 are both orange. 13 plus 5 or 1, 3, and 5 totals 9. The one spirit creation of the 5 angle. That's the angle in the center of everything. That's the 5-fold. That's where we are. We're in the center of everything. Okay, they call us 6, but we're 5. But we're not worth more than anything else anyways. If you look at the lime, it's a little bit different. Okay, the lime has less cushion on the outside, but the lime is very special. And the reason for less cushion maybe is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. I counted one that I shouldn't have. This one has 9. This one has 8. 8 plus 1, birth. 9 plus 1. Total of 10. Number 5 goes in the center. Okay. Now look at the X. See this arm here to this arm here? See this one here is going up towards this one here. It's not going straight up, but are they supposed to go straight up? Look at these. They're all even. They all go up and even. But on here, they seem to be a little off. This one goes up and then a little down. And this one goes up and a little down. This one goes a little up and this one goes a little up. They're all, this is the 10 world right here. Okay. And this one line that goes from here to here and here to here. This one line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. You know how many lines you can count in here? You can count more lines in here than in here. Anyways, I'm not explaining this exactly well, but as you see, if you want to know where the 10 world is, the 10 world of 9 around it. And that's what you got. So you put the lemon and the lime together. If you want, we're not going to count this for now. We're going to count 9 and 8. I stand on 17. And all I got is a lemon and a lime. L and L. Do you remember me talking to you in other videos? L and L. Lemon, 7. Lime, 9. Orange is the golden golden angel. The apple, okay, is an apt to pull or an apt to plea. P-L-E is a plea or a pull. Because it sounds like a pool, but it's not a pool at all because you're not in a pool. Everybody watch out for the pool. It's got 2 O's in it. What about the P? How come I can't talk anymore? You think of this faking? This is not faking. The good Lord has a good way of coming into us. So I'm going to continue on in his way. Should I be clearing my throat? I can't even clear my throat. I can't get down to there. Does anybody know what this is? Do you see the lines in it? How it grows? It wraps itself around each other and it tightens its way in. This might be the way we are connected to the islands. We are islands in the Pacific. Why would I say Pacific? Well, first of all, you got to remember is because of the salmon. Okay, sal, dirty. I'm dirty. Now, if I continue on with the salmon, I'll come up to something else, but that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I didn't want to jump in and talk about that now. But all I'm working on, because there's just so many things, I'll show you some. I'm not finished with them yet, obviously. This is a stop sign with one side missing. But we still have, see that X? And that. It's the same God, except since he can't go on this angle, right? He runs the beta world, okay? He has to run from the beta angle. And the beta angle is this angle. So he straightens it out. Now it's an X. Now he can run, and this is the slant of our world. We have nothing up here because according to these lines over here, 1, 2, 3, the fourth part that goes up here is a delta angle, which is a D, becomes man's head. One side of his body, two sides of his body, and his head. His head is different because it's actually the club. One ear here, and then one on the top. And the club and the ear, if you ever think that the word corn is an ear of corn, which EAR, just add the T and H, which is time heaven, and you now have the earth. If you take the H away from the T at the end and separate T from H, you have the heart. Because in the beginning you have H for the heavens, and the last one is the T is the transfer. It's a sideways T that runs like this down, and then another one meets it from the bottom. At the end, it ends up looking like an I, but for now, it's a T. Pending on what you're going to be doing is pending on how the letter characters are going to be designed. There's 100 ways to design the letter A. Which one are we going to use? But we have to use the same design for the whole diagram, because that's the only things that are going to fit in. Once you start to sketch something on straight lines, either it's going to fit in or it's not going to fit in. If it doesn't fit in, look at it and see what the mistake is, or try and figure out why it's there for no reason at all. It'll make something, a line, a check. It'll never make anything straight. Another thing is the difference between 1 and 7 is the difference between 1s and 7 is this, right? From here all the way down is a number 1. But if it goes all the way down to here, it becomes a number 7. If it stops halfway, it's a 1. If it goes all the way, it's a 7. One spirit or the 7th gate. So either you're getting through the 7th gate, or you're running in your own life to live. It's just a 1 spirit. Okay, see the way this goes all the way down here? There would be another one going here, and another one going here, and another one going here. Well, that's actually, like I mentioned before, the picture cards. All the picture cards tell a lot of designs. I mean, there's even this. Okay, this, if I create another one like this on the bottom, okay, I end up with that square in the center. This is part of the Pontiac sign. I would have to put 4 of them together. 2 of them create the heavens, okay, Venus and Neptune. Then I put 2 out here. One would be for man, and the angle of man to God. And it's the same design as anything that you've ever saw, to the swastika, to anything in Germany. Okay, Germany seems to be one of the strongest things coming to certain designs. And Germany, germ of many. In French, it's the war of many. So if they can say the war of many, that means their mind is at war, which means they must be and try and get into the system thinking. The entrance into the matrix is a war. First of all, none of us understand it, so we don't know how to get in. Even if we're not thinking about it, we have a question in our own mind. We don't even know there's a matrix, and we can't figure it out. But if we knew there was a matrix, we got to figure out how to use it, how to figure out what we need in our mind. So it's always a mind battle. See, if you're eating every single day and doing nothing all your life, that's no good. If you're eating every day and you're working all your life, that's no good. But if you work on why we're here, it'll lift inside of you the reason to be nice to people, the reason to say, oh, he's just a dummy, let him go. Ah, what's the difference? Always, what's the difference this time? When you're learning about how God created this place, it's also sexually. I mean, he's come up with 100 sexual jokes. I don't remember any of them, okay, although there are, you got to trust me and believe me. He comes with jokes about everything. I mean, everybody knows E-I-E-I-O is a pig. No, he's a pig. He's a sexual pig. E-I-E-I-O is 5959 on your clock. It creates the words alpha, omega. But 5959, okay, is a pig. It's a pig. It has no choice but to be a pig. 4114, 5959, okay, is 5151. It's both sides of God. I'll explain it again. Let me see if I can do this properly. E-I-E-I-O. On his farm he had a pig. E-I-E-I-O. 5959, which is the Mediterranean, 5 and 9 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, the one spirit of beta and the one spirit of beta, creating a dice cube on an angle with 3 dots going straight down, entitled for creation. So why is God a pig? Because 59, like I just said, is also 51. 41 is the birth, making it 90, but 51 is the 1010. So 51 is the one spirit of the 5 God, V. Roman numeral is very important. You put 2 V's together, you got a 10. You put 1 V to there, you got a V. If you put the V sideways, it means one thing. If you put the V this way and put a line above, it's 5,000. It's always V. Cross my heart, I swear to die. Well, you just created the mug and dove it, because those are cross my heart, down, down, hope to die. There's 2 lines across. That tallis we wear, the Jewish people, that's what it designs. Anyways, I'm not sure where I was going next. There was something I wanted to mention where beta is now the pentagram, and then delta, even if delta creates herself above, if this is flipped over the other way, it becomes a roof. Okay, if we finish it, you see this is finished, this square? This is the beta line because it comes straight from 2 and all the way down. This is the delta line, okay? This is also part of creation, but it's connecting the 8 heaven, the 1 spirit heaven. This side is the 1 spirit heaven and 8. This side is the 3 spirit heaven of 8, creation heaven. Beta heaven is right here because it's just in the center of the 2. 27 and 29 is the birth, but that would be 27 here and 29. This pentagram, this Pontiac sign over here would be in use. Anyways, if you flip this triangle up the other way, it becomes the pentagram, the 5-point star. Anyways, we're going to leave it at this. There's so much. I missed one piece that was going to be very important. The pear, if you roll a pear, it just rolls like this. If you roll an apple, it can turn upside down where its little twig is. That's why the twig is there. You know why that twig is there? Because if the twig was not on the apple, it would sit completely upside down with its ass pointed straight in the air into beta. Now you got to understand, what does the apple mean? It means the earth. So she's pointing, instead of being connected to the other side of the apple, the ass is in her face. And it shouldn't be. Anyways, the ends of the apple, right? This is the inside doing the same thing. What other fruits do we have? That's very funny. Yes, I'm a fruit. You know what I'm going to be doing next, eh? I came up with a couple of sexual positions that connect to the Bible. I told you the whole thing, this complete entire thing, whatever I'm ever going to do, I'm always going to touch one part of creation. And is it truth? Well, if you can think about it and it makes sense, it has to be true. No? 1 and 1 is 2 in your world. Is it the same thing? You see 1 and 1 next to each other, the one God and the one God. 1, 2, 3. The one God and the one God get together and make the 3 creation. But if God doesn't go with the other one God, the beta, if he doesn't go to make creation, he can't get there. Either he's there or he's not. Either he's there or he's not. Like creation, like I said, it's a little mixed in my head a little bit that 111 is actually 5 on the first line, but everybody sees 123 because the 2 is 1 and 1 part of this, and the 2 is 1 and 1 part of that. And that's why it's beta creation number 23. This and that. His, hat, at, angel, cat, communication. I'm telling you, God put this whole thing together with words and letters. Once you're able to connect all these words and letters, it's going to start to bring out riddles and poems and songs and all kinds of stuff because this world was built on rock and roll and just about everything else in it, right? Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I thank you, O Lord, for letting us know that you're out there, that you created everything, because everything seems to get together. I only believe it because it works. I see it in numbers. I see it. I see it. And it makes way too much sense for it to be wrong, although it could be wrong, and I can be completely wrong. And then this would be just a book, The Story of Hypothesis, and another science fiction bullshit that was worth nothing. But that's okay. But for me, it means the world. Raphael 7286. On behalf of MrTacpans and the good Lord, praise ye, O Lord, praise ye, O Lord, praise ye, O Lord. The constellation of Pegasus 7286. When you watch this video, just smile at the end, because it's whatever you think. If you're not hurting anybody, nobody's hurting you. Life is just very, very easy. Very easy. Don't work, stay home, don't go out. Somebody will bring you food to your door every single day, right? The confusing part about life is, what do you want to do? Sam.